Welcome back, everybody. We are in our winners match. Two unlikely winners meeting here in Trap and Super.
Super able to beat Classic 2-1, whereas Trap was able to do the same here to Zest 2-1.
Yeah, pretty close to best of threes we saw. As close as PvP gets, really.
Yeah. You know, even though they were both 2-1s, because they're PvP, they were so fast.
Yeah. So, we're going to find out our first player to advance to the round of 8 right now. It's going to be one of these two unlikely Protoss heroes here. We've both defeated champions and our picks and bans.
Once again here, I mean, Nimbus, Foxtrot, Deadwing, Catalina are the bans. Overgrowth, King's Angel Station, and Merry-Go-Round. This is what we saw during the first week. Basically, these three maps being played maybe 80% of the time or more.
Yeah. We did see a variation on the bans from Trap. He banned Deadwing this time. Or was that? No, I'm thinking of Classic. I think that banned, or didn't ban Deadwing.
Yeah, and he picked Deadwing first.
Right, yeah. Okay. Might have been a different pick there regardless, but we've already looked at two of these. It's hard for me to remember exactly who picked what. Because these are done like right before these two players play during our breaks. So Overgrowth being our first set.
If you had to pick one guy, after seeing both these guys play best of 3, who would you give it to here?
Trap.
Me too.
More solid overall.
Yeah. I feel like he's been practicing a lot with SOS before this qualifiers. He's looking really good in this matchup. Super
just had his shaky moments. I worry for him, especially considering Trap's been able to watch his best of 3 and think, okay, as long as I defend to the late game, I should be okay. All right, guys, it's time for game number 1 here in our winners match for Group C.
Right off the bat, Super here down in the bottom left in the red, of course, is moving his probe out here on this 2-player map. He's going to go for a proxy here.
It worked against Trap earlier when Zest did it, so, you know, maybe thinking he wants to do the same thing, although he's angling his probe to go over to perhaps not even all the way to the natural, perhaps over near that third base location. So that could mean that we're just going to see the 1 gate variation. I think that's probably what we're going to see.
This is exactly what Parting did to Hack for you guys who were looking, or rather watching last week. You know, Hack is a Terran player, but still can get out those Zealots pretty fast, can do a lot of damage as well.
Yeah. Grabs those minerals. Useful for him later to do some mineral walking a little bit easier. Do you have the minerals in your mouth when you... Okay, so he's just going to be the 1 gate, so it doesn't actually matter at all for microing. But those of you who don't know, when you right-click on a mineral patch, your probes actually temporarily, or actually as long as they're continuing to rally for mining, will be able to pass through any units, including Zealots, Stalkers, anything. So if you want to micro with your probes, pull them away from melee units, including Zerglings. If you click them on a mineral patch, they'll walk through. If your opponent has a tight wall with a Zealot, there you want to get your drone through, you just right click on those pass. But if you want to micro through quickly, if you have minerals in your mouth, you can just press the C return cargo button and the same thing will happen. The reason why this happens is so that if you wanted to have a set of Stalkers in your mineral line, for example, to protect your probes, the probes can move through them instead of the Stalkers blocking your probes from being able to participate in their mining properly.
Yeah, it's great. It's very comfortable. And here we got that Cybernetics core on the way here. Trap, it looks like he's going to go for the scout here. He's going right to where that gate is, so he's going to know.
Sees it and sees that it's a lonely gate, which means that the Zealot will come out here.
One lonely gate, all alone in the world.
And he knows that all he needs to do is be careful about this first Zealot, and he should be able to recover. It's all about the micro here. He's going to go ahead and make that second pylon just for safety measures. Yeah, this is all about the micro here. Good position there by Super in between the geyser and the mineral patch. But this is going to be tough to actually make work. Almost gets 1. It takes 3 swipes.
The micro at a Trap here right now. He has not lost 1 single probe. The second Zealot is in here, though. This is the key moment right now. 2-on-1 Zealots. He's got a micro perfectly here.
Oh, still hasn't lost a single probe. There goes the first. Some Mothership Core is out now. It's going to cost him a few probes here, but as you can see, he's only 2 probes down now. The first Stalker that comes out is scary, but not without Zealot support. And in fact, it's not even going to come out first, so should actually be fine. He wants to clear the scout up, but there's nothing to do it. So he could just keep shift-clicking his probe around. He's going to have all vision of what's happening.
Yeah, 2 extra gates coming down here. So immediately going into 3-gate. Trap sees this, and all he has to do is respond. Let's see how he responds to this one.
He says he has the high ground. I mean, can almost even consider making it a sentry. And he wants to get gates up, obviously, and hold the high ground. Wait and use the Nexus cannon at the last second if possible. And this pylon will go down. So they're empowering this gateway, weakening, crippling this push. Also means there's no forward pylon. Super's going to need a new pylon. I mean, things couldn't look better for Trap right now. Twilight Council's going up even. He's that confident. He's that confident.
Yep.
He's going to be okay here.
Look at this out of Super. Once that pylon goes down, he knows that Trap isn't going to keep a scout there, so he just remakes the pylon so that he can get that 3rd gate up here.
Never walk into a watchtower with a line of sight blocker if you don't know what's there. #1 rule of Overgrowth. That Zealot escapes, so he actually gets away with both units, but it costs him a lot of hit points. Okay, let's see how much damage this gets done, because this is kind of a funny situation now. He's chased really far, and this Stalker, 2v1, got to get up that ramp. He's going to have to use that Mothership Core way faster than he wanted to.
Yeah, really, really annoying here. 2 extra gates coming down here, but way behind. There's only 1 gate right now.
He needs to be careful with that Mothership Core. Oh. I can't believe he lost that. I cannot believe it.
Yeah.
You want to wait till the last second, but not that last second to where you die. Wow.
Very true.
I sniped there on that pylon. That's pretty crazy they actually got that.
Yeah. Well, the thing here is that Super has had his 3 gates for a much longer time, so he is going to have that 1 extra warp in here. Trap has evened it up at 2, but Super's following this up with DTs, not Blink.
Ouch. Losing that Stalker there. Really tough to walk into that. Well, Robo comes up too, but not for Trap, who's getting his own Blink, which does not grant detection. He's going to have to be Johnny on the spot with those force fields, man, or he's not actually going to be able to defend this.
Johnny on the spot, indeed. Zealot is going to scout these Stalkers, so Trap is able to, kite that Zealot, but it will be scouted here, so Super just going to bring back his Stalkers.
Okay, so he knows the potential is there. He knows all he needs to do is keep his units here on hold position. The DTs won't be able to get up the ramp. He did move them actually just barely, so a DT could potentially get inside. If he gets in for any reason, this could work still. It just seems very unlikely. He's watching it like a hawk. He's got those units over there nearby. I don't think this will go wrong. And if he holds the DTs, he's just in such a great spot. Okay, he even comes out to greet the DT.
Does he see it, though?
I think so.
Well,
you could imagine he had those units selected. He probably saw, but he doesn't.
He doesn't know.
He has no idea. But only 1 DT. And the Observer will be on the way here soon. Oh. Sick force field. Maybe he does know, and he's just like, nah, I won't force field the ramp. I'll just force field this and make a fool of you.
Oh, man. One more will do it.
Oh, he missed it. And that hurts.
Yeah, it does.
Would have been much easier to just force field him out of the ramp. Not sure what he was thinking here, but
gets the 2nd sentry here, but the Observer is out.
He's going to take this fight on the line of sight blocker.
Not sure about this one. He doesn't have Blink.
Yeah.
Trap comes from behind, takes out pretty much the whole army of Super that isn't that DT. And now the GG comes out, even at WW. Really quick GG there.
Oh yeah, he's feeling it, man. That was a weird game. Like I said earlier, never go into the watchtower if you don't know what's there. He knew what was there. He knew that he had Blink, his opponent didn't, and he had way more units. He walked right into that, and instead of retreating, he wanted to take that engagement. Regardless, that's the best thing he could have done, because had he just run away, Stalkers would have blinked on top of him anyways. So I guess take the engagement you can under that watchtower. Defense against the Dark Templar, I have to say, was somewhat lackluster, but it was enough. And there was only 1 DT. If there were 2 or 3 DTs in there, whole different story.
Yeah, totally different story. Could have even sniped some of the units there. Got a lot of probes down.
We could have killed the Robo, maybe.
Yeah, possibly. Super, he was going for Blink and DTs and a Robo and a Nexus. He was like doing so much stuff at once. I feel like he just didn't have enough army, and he wasn't safe enough against the Blink that Trap had. And it just came back to bite him there.
Yeah.
Just trying to do too much with too little.
Yeah, well said, actually. Well, guys, going into Sejong, it's game number 2. Super may be running out of tricks here. So I was saying earlier, I felt like he was going to run into a wall in the winner's match, potentially. Let's see how Trap wants to play this. Play defensive, play safe. That seems to be the way to defeat Super here.
Super, he showed a proxy on this map last time against Classic. Will he do it again? I highly doubt it, but anything is possible.
Anything is possible, man. All right, guys, it's time for game number 2 here in the winner's match of Group C.
Up here in the top left, he's down 0-1. It is Super.
Doesn't look too shaken. And his opponent, of course, down to the bottom right. Had quite a few team changes in his StarCraft 2 career. It's Trap. And one of our more successful Castle players, actually, to switch over to StarCraft 2 early on. He's actually an MLG winner. This guy's pretty good. You don't see him as often in the GSL. You don't see him in Pro League all too often because Pro League's over, and IM didn't make it very far to the end. Yeah. But now he's on a top tier Pro League team in Jin Air, excuse me, and he's got a lot of potential to do good things next season. So
I have to say, Jin Air was a powerhouse team last season. They were able to defeat, I think it was SK2 there in the finals around 4, if I'm not mistaken. And now they picked up Trap, another really strong Protoss here. I'm really looking forward to see what Jin Air has to bring to the table for next season. Really looking good.
Me too. So let's see how Super wants to play this. I'm feeling like maybe just a Stargate opener, not a proxy. Could be quite strong. 2 gates, or rather, excuse me, 2 simulators come down for him pretty early on here. A little bit faster than Trap. So Trap gets a little bit of extra mineral mining. Can't read too much into that yet. We'll have to see how many probes he puts in the gas. Okay, it's going to put 3, so it's going to be pretty even. It's like Super's going to take the 2-2 approach.
Yeah. Just a slight variation in build, you know. Like you said, not much information will come out of this for us.
Yeah. There were a lot of people who decided early on, and there's actually foreign pros, that the double gas and 2-2 is more efficient. I feel like it was like Sase, Naniwa, and Huck were like the 3 people who basically decided that was a thing before the Korean players actually, and then it kind of filtered into the Koreans. It's really a matter of preference, similar to where you make your Overlord on 9, 10, Extractor, Cancel, that sort of thing. It's one of those things that is such a negligible difference, but it's a personal preference.
Yeah, and with that extra minerals, actually, Super is making a Zealot here. Doesn't wait for the... no, it looks like he canceled it there, so never mind.
That was a bit strange that he'd make the Zealot. I guess just for safety, since he scouted so late.
Yeah. And just no second gateway here. So looking to get that Stalker out here, and the Mothership Core will be able to kill that probe, it looks like, yeah. And can throw down whatever tech he wants just about now.
Yeah, he's almost got that money. And there it is, Twilight Councils for both players.
At the exact same time.
So very little variation here. You can see about a 25 gas lead right now for Trap.
Yeah, whereas Super has the 1 extra probe, so...
Yeah.
Or the 1 earlier, extra probe there.
So that's the difference that you get from that gas efficiency. It's a matter of preference. And, there's arguments for both sides here. Ooh. Oh, wow, he's just barely able to sneak by here.
Yeah. No scout on the Mothership Core. Trap will be able to get it into the base, it looks like, and maybe even get a scout onto that Twilight Council.
I think he will, because that Stalker didn't go home. Now he's going home. I may have spoken too soon. Mothership Core says, yeah, he should be able to deny this now with 2 Stalkers here. He could do the recall scout, but I think he's at like 92. I don't know, he has enough energy, but you probably wouldn't have seen it.
Yeah.
But definitely the better choice to back out.
Got the scout at the left side of the base anyway. Knows that whatever is in the base, Super has to be on the right side. I mean, he doesn't know what it is, but...
He's actually still going to try to swing around the top left, where in that dead space. That dead airspace.
He's sneaking.
Yeah, I think he's actually going to get in here. Incredible. Doesn't pay for it with his life, but barely gets away. About 2 more shots there to kill that mothership core. More volume in those 3 stalkers.
Trap here on the other side of things. He does have 3 gates now made.
Yeah, he's got the much faster warpins, and he's got the forward warpin point. He's coming over. He's going to set the attack on, whereas Super is using his blink, you know, as more of a just a tech in itself, not an aggressive attack.
And you know what, Trap? He's not yet moving out. I feel like this, you know, could be an interesting time to try to snipe that probe that's at the bottom of the ramp. You know, just gain some position, but doesn't want to move before his blink is done.
This is tense because he knows that Super knows about his tech too. Super already saw this. He's trying to chrono boost out that Immortal. And we have a funny turn of events where this time it's Super as a defender. Very rare circumstance here. Probe gets sniped. Is he just going to do the double blink? I don't think he can do that against 2 Zealots up there. I don't think he definitely can't do this, but he can linger. This is a cool move. Try to snipe pylons. Not going to find anything. Barely not.
Yeah, it's right there on the edge, like right outside the scouting, the vision distance, I guess, of the stalkers.
Super getting quite a bit ahead right now, as he has just the first Immortal's already out, second one's on the way. He's got a probe lead, and this attack's no longer really that scary. He's got to be careful because little tricks like this can cost Super. With both players having blink, it's really about the better micro, and the defender's always going to have an easier time with that.
Well, Super 2 Immortals here. He will get a slightly later Nexus here, but I think it's pretty clear to say he is ahead here, like you did mention. Trap just trying to micro his way to get a little bit of kills here, grab whatever he can.
It's just so much easier to do this when your opponent doesn't have blink. Oh. But this is a good idea. Gonna come over here while the stalkers are away. He saw them killing his pylon. Trade shields for a unit. That's fine.
Oh man, look how late that pylon is actually.
Really
Resupply
late.
blocked, and now he's got to make 2. He's not going to be able to get this next warping in here.
Both of these guys are gods at micro. It's just never a fight the Trap can take, though.
Hallucinated Phoenix coming through here for Trap. See that going on the mini-map there. Does scout the Nexus, is going to the main base now. So
Would love to get that pylon. I don't think he saw it. Here comes the scout of Super. Wow. Observer-wise. And he's actually going to intercept these stalkers. That's the plan here.
oh man.
This could be a disaster, but good concave here for Trap. Super walks into a trap, no pun intended. Blinks forward here, both players targeting Immortals right now. And similar army sizes, but that last surviving Immortal makes this a super fight. He just needs a few more reinforcements. Snipes the Observer as well. Does he have a pylon? It's too far away. Can't actually continue the attack, but a really good trade there.
Yeah. Trap needs another Immortal here ASAP. Well, actually, it looks like Super is just backing off for now. Trap trying to send a little rogue force here of 4 stalkers, maybe to try to snipe some probes, snipe some zealots even. Already going up there towards the top of that watchtower.
Yep. Snipe that pylon. That snipe is not really a word for it, but destroy.
There it is. And what's back here? He does have the mothership core.
Yeah, I think he's just going to ignore it and target. Four stalkers can one-shot a probe, so just shift Q. That Immortal makes things a bit more difficult, but look at that. Gets out. That was pretty dicey, but...
Very good, but you know, he doesn't have 4 stalkers back at home. Where's the mothership core? He's going to need that Nexus cannon. Throws it down.
But that's exactly what Super wants. Nice attempt to snipe here by Trap. 4 held on that stalker. Just a bit of miscalculation there. The stalkers are trying to find their way home. Not necessarily. I suppose they could come around for another pass at the main. And also just check around for forward pylons. He might actually on his way over here. Find that. Checks the watchtower. Just not in vision of that pylon.
Yeah, just out of the way there. Trap. Just back at home, making those Immortals. He does have the forge up a little bit later than Super does, so we do see the +1 here for Super getting out a lot faster. Could come into play here, maybe go for a +1 or +2 timing a little bit later on in the game. We do see him adding that Templar Archive, so probably going to want to gear up here, get up a bunch of gates on 2 bases, go for that Charge of the Archon.
This is definitely tense right now for Trap. You know, it's hard for him to actually find an opening to get an advantage. He's trying to take these small advantages with his Stalkers right now. Coming over here, gonna blink in here, take out some probes maybe. Gets 2, should get at least 4 here. Gets out. Oh, he misclicks. Oh, maybe it was a teaser there. Loses his observer, which means he can't kill that pylon, which is, I think, the bonus he was hoping for there. This is going to be a straight-up fight here. I don't think Trap can actually win this. Am I mistaken? It's 3 Immortals to 2 and way more Stalkers to support.
Doesn't look like it. Decent positioning here at the bottom of the ramp, but look at all these Immortals. Super, just way too much. May want to fight at the top of the ramp. No, he's just on the run here. Knows he's behind, but with a blink forward to Super, he turns around, but he's taking a lot of damage on this one Immortal here.
That's his lifeline right now, especially with the Guardian Shield that he doesn't have. And this is just going to... Oh, I don't even... That blink is... It's just so desperate. He's trying to pick off something on the side away from those slower Immortals that don't have the ability to blink. It'd be crazy if Immortals could blink.
Blinking Immortals, man.
Immortals used to be able to warp in at pylons instantly. Expensive to do, but would have been pretty sick. This is a desperate attempt as well here to hit this third base. Everything is going Super's way right now, including the probe count, even the upgrades you talked about earlier. And we see how that desperation Psystorm coming out. With the Warp Prism that we see, I think we're going to see some Storm Drops, which can be quite annoying to defend. Can't just put a cannon on that. You know, you've got to split your probes out of there.
And we've seen it done a lot of. We've seen it do a lot of damage before, but I don't recall a big game where it actually brought anyone back into the game. You know, we've seen hidden bases get people back in the games. You know, Dark Templar tech as well, but
we've seen games where Storm Drops do a lot of damage, but it's usually when the player who's doing the Storm Drop is either slightly ahead or like massively ahead, so much so that they could sneak that Storm research out and keep, you know, Templar out of Archon form long enough to actually make something happen. Is that all from the main base they selected there? Just a slight oversaturation, I guess you could argue, as those mineral pads are getting low. Scout on the Warp Prism. Uh-oh, what are you doing out there, Archon man?
Oh, big blink forward. He does get the Archon. Trap, you know, we call it desperate, but he is sniping some stuff. But with the counter blink here, he will lose some of his own as well.
Well, you know, I would say that move is not necessarily desperate, more so is like super technical, like high focus, low reward. You know, more so as desperate as him trying to attack the third base. That would never happen. Now, this drop could do a lot. He is in position with the Stalkers on the main base, and the natural is exposed, and he's looking at this right now. He's not looking at his natural when, boom, 2 Storm Drops come in, but the split reaction is very quick, and this third base definitely going to have to be canceled. Those Immortals can basically right-click on it, make it disappear. Big warp in here on the main base, and Trap is caught between a rock and a hard place. A decent Storm here.
He does have like a ton of charge lots actually coming out of nowhere here. Super doesn't have any, but now he's got a recall. This drop actually was just too much. He had to recall back.
And this further gives a 3-base to 2-base advantage right now for Super. Looking at the supply, I'm really trying to figure out why he's so low. I suppose he lost a lot of units in that engagement. I mean, he did do a huge warp in his Zealots that were cleaned up as well, but yeah, he did a lot of econ damage. In a few minutes, he should be able to equalize that supply and pass it massively because of that extra mineral income he's got right now.
Yeah, looks like Trap just went for a bunch of extra gateways and made a lot of cheap Zealots, whereas Super was trying to transition into Colossi at the same time. Do see the first one coming out here, and the charge is just being finished right now. So Super, I feel like as long as he can hold off this attack, I think he's going to win this game. Another Storm does come down. Another good one does come down as well. A lot of kills coming in there.
Yeah.
The blink will be able to... No, not quite yet. Oh, there it is. No! Calling things way too soon. Keeps it way alive and could just morph those 2 into an Archon now.
Yeah, and he's going to do just that. So this is a really scary moment, actually. You know what? Trap has... He's gotten into this position where the Zealot count is 27 to 18. +2 versus +2 as far as I can tell here. Armor not yet done for Trap, but he's getting close. Wants to come over here and get a good angle while his Colossus transition's underway. Maybe, you know, he's thinking, you don't have enough Colossi just yet. I've got a huge amount of Zealots. Storms go down too.
A lot of Storms. Time Warp is good, though, on a lot of Trap Zealots there. Big shots by the Nexus Cannon and the Stalkers in the back here for Super.
If we just had a little bit more Warpins, if we had a little bit more firepower to finish these units off, this would be a very good fight for Trap because these units are all out of shields because of those storms, but they're recovering very quickly. The range for Thermal Lance is nearly done, and I don't see this attack doing anything more. The Nexus is just now, like right now, being started. Not like, it was started like a minute ago, it's only like a third of the way done. No, it's starting now. For how long this Nexus has been up for Super and how many Colossi he's about to have, tech for Tempest are eons away. He's got no answer for the Colossi. Win behind Dark Shrine. That's what they say.
Even, 21 minutes into the game, yeah, it doesn't really matter. Trap, he abides by that law, I guess.
If you can snipe the Observer, we have seen miraculous turnarounds with big DT Warpins. You're able to assess your opponent doesn't have detection. I can just fight with DTs on the ground. We've seen games won like that, but definitely a very tight rope to walk.
And with that big attack, Super actually brought everything out of his main base here, so we're going to see another drop coming in here.
Now, Trap could be very happy. There's no cannon in here. I think he was looking for that to snipe, so when he comes back in with his DTs, there's no detection here. Maybe he could snipe a Nexus, snipe a Cyber Core. Any sort of harassment like that's going to be good for him. He needs to get that Warp Prism onto solid ground, though, before he can even warp in DTs to drop into it. Just look at the supplies. That third base is really starting to pay for itself here. And just massively. There's a huge discrepancy in third base timings for these two players. Yep. It's been 7 minutes or so. Tough to engage against this Storm, but if he can get a good angle with his Colossi, perhaps not trying to walk up a ramp. Wow, can't believe he attacks this location of all places. Where's the Warp Prism? He lost it.
Yeah, I guess he must have, but he's going for the attack right now. Big storms again on a lot of Super's army, but is it enough? Super having a ton of Colossi in the back with range right now, doing huge damage. Look at the supply fall here for Trap. Super's going to clean up this fight easily. Yeah,
we're going to have yet our third Game 3. DT finally cleaned up. Second one goes down as well, and I think that should force the type out here.
If not a type out, we're going to see the hammer swung. Super's going to run across the map, but there it is. GG. Super stays in this one. He's not out yet. We predicted Trap, but Super's making it close.
I guess we should just predict all series go to Game 3 at this point.
We should just predict the person that we think is not going to win, and maybe then we'll be right, Because so far, we've been wrong 0-2 on 2 series.
Well, there's been a rift, actually, in the casters' prediction sort of space-time continuum, as Artosis correctly, as did you and I and Moonglade, predicted Innovation to win 4-2.
Yeah, that was actually crazy. All 4 of us voted 4-2, and it actually came true.
So now that that's happened, we have 7 years of incorrect predictions, I think.
We brought a curse upon ourselves.
Even I saw Double Lift in an interview, League of Legends analyst person, say he knows of the Artosis curse from StarCraft. Maybe because he spoke, the rift was broken.
Oh man,
I don't know, but it's time, guys. Game 3. The winner of this moves on to the round of 8. The loser has to win one more best of 3 in order to do so. Let's find out if it's going to be Super or if it's going to be Trap here in Group C.
Up here in the top right, he just tied it up and made things interesting. It's Super.
And the top left in blue, it's Trap.
I don't know what's up with Super. I think he's got a sweaty nose or something. No, seriously. He keeps wiping his nose. I had a friend like this when I was younger who actually had just like a really sweaty nose. Like his face didn't even like really sweat. It was just his nose. And I don't really know what that's about. Like, I know I have like certain parts of my body that sweat a lot too. Like my back. My back sweats a lot.
Wow.
Yeah. You're learning a bit about, Valady Brennan here.
I don't really sweat
Where
very
do you
much.
sweat?
I actually don't really sweat very much, to be honest. I'm like trying to think about it, but I'm just not a very sweaty person, I guess.
Well,
I don't know. I mean, I sweat all over when I like go for a jog. It's really hot outside.
Where do you sweat first? Do you even know? Is it like even apparent or?
No, I don't sweat, man. My body like doesn't need that. I don't need that coolant. I'm actually fine. It's because I'm cold-hearted. It keeps my body cool.
I don't know. I have like there are certain people like this that are overall they just feel hot more often than other people. That's actually
those people are usually like 9 out of 10 on the attractive scale.
Yeah.
They feel hot more than everybody else all the time.
I guess that makes sense.
That's me actually too, Brendan. Like,
yeah.
I feel hot all the time.
You didn't sweat. I don't know, man. Like
I feel hot.
You're pretty
all the
cold. Just saying.
But yeah, there are those people that.
I am one of those people.
Well, I hope you. I hope it's not like a big affliction. I didn't notice about you.
It was like 45 degrees last night Fahrenheit, I guess, and I had the air conditioning on because I was pretty hot in my house. I live in the basement, still hot. Doesn't make any sense. Can't explain it.
Can't explain it, man. Well, Brendan's sweat glands aside.
And supers. Supers as well.
And supers. We have really similar builds. The variation, of course, comes into the gateway. So we saw faster mining for trap. And you can see that he has a lack of gas as a result. Build timing here for Super Stargate works out pretty nicely. And it actually will, if the probe commits, be scouted. Let's see, does he stick around? I think he will.
He wants that info, man.
Oh, I don't know if he actually went down far enough. They actually don't know.
I don't
Somebody
think so.
press the V key so we can know. Well, this is just going to be a secret, I guess. Okay.
There we go, yeah.
I was pretty sure, but I guess the observer was like so sure too. He's like, of course, Wolf. Why would I even show that?
Come on, Wolf. Well, he doesn't see it. He wants to keep the probe alive, and that may cost him a bit of extra probes later on if he goes Oracles, Super really liking the Oracle play these days, but he's going to go Phoenix.
I wonder if he'll do, like, I don't know, he seems to like to be aggressive with his Phoenixes. His decision-making in that game against Classic, Game 3. Oh, look at this, 2 gates. I think he might actually do a lift on sentries, like an aggressive attack with the Phoenixes.
Who did we see this? We saw this, like, the first day of Pro League. Was that
that was Cal.
Versus Liquid Hero. Yeah.
Yep. Cal versus Hero.
That was an actual build.
That was the very first game of Pro League, wasn't it?
I think it was. Yeah.
Yep. I think we haven't seen this build since then. Oh, look at that. Look at that go away as he realizes that he's way too far behind the Phoenixes already to try to compete. Uh-oh, this he's just going to go for an attack straight up. I'm not even sure why he was making a Stargate. He was planning on being this aggressive.
Yep. His third gate is about to finish up here, as well as that warp gate research, I should say, as well. But with 3 Phoenixes out here, he can lift a lot of Stalkers,
Yeah, does he have the third one out yet? I think.
Was it 3 or just 2?
I think it's just 2 right now, but I think the third one.
Oh, okay.
It's about to pop out.
No, it is 3.
You're right. You're right. I'm so sorry.
Well, he's got 3 gates as well here.
Oh, can he get the pylon?
Oh, not quite.
He starts it. There it goes. Okay, pylon's on the high ground. Not sure why he made it so close to Stalkers, but the fight is on. 4 Phoenixes now. Probes coming off the line. And Super holds his ground.
For now, he's losing a lot of
if that pylon finishes, if that pylon finishes, he can warp in Zealots and Stalkers.
He's trying to desperately pick up as many as he can, but 2 more Stalkers being warped in here. Super does have a warp in of 3 more Stalkers. Will it be enough?
I think maybe, man. He's got so many Phoenixes here still. As soon as they get a lift, they can just eliminate a Stalker. Probes have been, a lot of them killed, but I think this ends up being a better trade for Super because now he's got these Phoenixes to harass. They're gonna build their energy up slowly over time.
And behind this, we didn't even mention Trap actually did go for that Stargate. He's making a Phoenix right now.
Yeah, but he's so far behind in that.
Yeah,
look at the units lost for Trap too. God, double the units lost there. Super.
Oh man.
Efficiency-wise, there's no contest who won that.
That's
that extra tech he has with these Phoenixes. That's what's missing. The Phoenixes didn't die,
yeah.
And they're still out there.
And I don't know about this Phoenix switch here for Trap. He does have that Nexus cannon here, but that Mothership core will be sniped here by the Phoenixes.
Good retarget there.
Oh, he doesn't get it.
He saves it. What?
That was just a missed target there by Super. It was 1 hit away. And all you have to do is move in slightly, hit it
and now
once
it's got
more.
a second Nexus cannon. This changes everything. Now I don't know if this follow-up attack is even a good idea.
Oh, this game is so strange.
He has to kill it before he attacks, I feel. That's going to buy Trap too much time. Although, you know, he's only 6 armies supply up. That's 3 Stalkers. Let's see. Let's just let this play out. The supply block is real. Okay, picks up the Stalker, picks it off right away. He's going to go for that Phoenix, and if he can kill that Mothership Core, that'd be nice. He wants to take out these Zealots instead. That second Nexus cannon's so helpful here. He's got to back off. He doesn't even have a pylon on the high ground. His warp-in point is so far away.
Yeah, and when you're warping in Zealots, they got a long way to walk. You know, Stalkers are a bit faster, but Zealots, they got to walk all the way over here. They're not here. Trap is
really
fighting
close.
with probes. He may even surround the Stalkers here. The Zealots getting some huge hits on the Stalkers here. He's not able to move away, but the Zealots coming in here for super. Is it enough, though? I'm not sure.
Well, good lifts here, isolating those units away from the Stalkers, and probes are fighting in Zealots. Never what you want. Mothership Core looks like it will fall here. Does he have any lifts? It doesn't look like it. And he's just going to have to try to get out. Good body block here on the Stalkers. He's not getting out.
Not getting out. He loses so much of his army, but look at that. Trap also doesn't have much of an army outside of the units you see here.
And he's down to 14 pros versus 23. Now he's the one desperate to go for a counterattack while there are Phoenixes in his main base. He's got a lift, actually. He could go and use it. I think he's got maybe 2 in just a second here. He's forcing Trap to stay at home. Even, you know, he's just going to fight a Stalker. That's what he's going to use his lifts for. I don't blame him for this.
Yeah, not a bad idea. You want to get rid of the army here, but he's not actually able to finish it off here. Makes it really weak there. Gets the other one. Extra lift here. 2 Stalkers down.
Too much production.
GG.
Super. First place, man. Said, you think I'm the weakest player in this group? You are wrong.
And we are wrong as well. Trap goes down here 1-2. His practice with SOS not coming through in these games. I have to say that game was off the chain. Way, way back and forth. Super just barely able to hold the very fast 3-gate coming out of Trap. Trap making a transition into Phoenixes. He's behind in Phoenixes, a really, really close fight, but he loses a lot of probes there. And just the production coming through there for Super.
He should not have had, his probes were fighting the Zealots. The probes need to fight the Stalkers, and the Zealots, you just try to ignore them if you can. If you're in a position where your probes are fighting Zealots, even if you survive, you've lost too many probes. The Zealot takes like 3 little slaps to knock that probe down, and then it's just he's going to move on to the next one. And then suddenly, oh, I've got the better army, but 2 warp-ins later of better economy, and he's just going to overwhelm me because he's also got the better Phoenix count, which means better lifts, which means he can kill my Mothership Core, he can kill my Phoenixes. I've only got 2. It was superior decision-making by Super, but I feel like the big turning point was all those probes fighting against the Zealots.
Yeah. It was a decent idea. I mean, at the time when he went for the probes for the attack, he didn't see the Zealots. They were behind, but they came up the ramp right as the probes got there. And, like you said, the probes just latched on to the Zealots there, and they took way too many losses. It would have been much better if he was able to get his arm around the Stalkers and surround them, but that's not the way it worked out.
Yeah. Well, like you said, not the way it worked out, and Trap still has another chance.
Oh, and he's in a bad spot, man. Up against Zest or Classic. Whoever wins the losers match, that's going to be coming up next, guys.
Yeah. All right, so before we go into that losers match, guys, we're going to have a quick little rest, a quick little commercial break. We'll be right back.